friends, today I am going to give a video presentation on Bitcoin. So my name is Devashish host. This is my first video and I am just trying my best to present to you some information and some good knowledge of Bitcoin. So friends, let's start. Now, Bitcoin sounds like what is a type of money, but it is a special kind of money that would not exist without the internet. It is digital and virtual. People can't carry it around in their pocket or keep it in a bank. Despite its differences, the traditional money, there are places around the world that are starting to accept Bitcoin to pay for things. Some restaurants and shops in New York and San Francisco accept Bitcoins, and so does WordPress, a blogging website. So this is Bitcoin, and let's move on. So first of all, it is a cryptocurrency. And cryptocurrency is not something you can hold in your hand. It is something virtual. First of all, it is important to understand that cryptocurrency is very virtual thing, which will inherently turn a lot of people off it right away. So let's get something out it open right now. Remember that those dollar bills that you hold on your hand are not actually worth anything, and in fact they are not even real. The paper currency people are able to hold in their hands are just a representation of worth. And the worth that is put on the floating flat currency is based on nothing more than the faith people have in it paired with how much of it is in circulation. So it's how much it is in circulation in a paperback currency. It is very important. Now let us tell you a fact that this concept derives from a ant story world. Means how the ant operates in this world, and that is a decentralized world. The leafcutter ant is a species that exhibits highly complex behavior in a colony of superorganisms. But each individual ant operates on a set of simple rules driven by social interaction and the exchange of chemical scents. Pheromones. The scents are called pheromones. While ants form a caste-based society and have a queen of producing offspring, there is no central authority or a leader in an ant colony. Nature demonstrates that decentralized system can be resilient and can produce emergent complexity and incredible sophistication without need of a central authority, hierarchy, or complex parts. Bitcoin is highly sophisticated decentralized trust network that can support a myriad of financial processes. Yet each node in the Bitcoin network follows a few simple mathematical rules. The interaction between many nodes is what leads to emergence of sophisticated behavior, not any inherent complexity or trust in any single node. Like an ant colony, the Bitcoin network is a resilient network of simple nodes following simple rules that together can do amazing things without any central coordination. This is important. The central coordination is absolutely not present in this Bitcoin network. Okay, now let us tell you who the inventor is. His name is Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin was invented in 2008 by Satoshi Nakamoto with the publication of the paper titled Bitcoin, a paper to paper electronic cash system. Satoshi Nakamoto combined several prior inventions such as B-money, Hashcash to create a completely decentralized electronic cash system that does not rely on a central authority for currency issuance or settlement and validation of transaction. The computation system called a proof of work algorithm. The Bitcoin network started in 2009 based on a reference implementation published by Nakamoto and since revised by many other programmers. Satoshi Nakamoto withdrew from the public in April 2011, leaving the responsibility of the developing the code and network to a thriving group of volunteers. The name Satoshi Nakamoto is an alias. That is the beauty of this network. Satoshi Nakamoto actually is a name in alias. The identity of the person or the people behind the invention is currently unknown. However, neither Satoshi Nakamoto nor anyone else exerts control over the Bitcoin system, which operates based on fully transparent mathematical principles. The invention itself is groundbreaking and has already spawned new science in the fields of distributed computing, electronics, econometrics, and economics. Okay, so this is cryptocurrency. The inspiration came from the ants and the inventor is Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, what is Bitcoin? Let's go few steps further into it. A digital money ecosystem. It is a peer-to-peer system, no central server or point of control. It has a mining rule and computer processing power to find solution to the problem. Let's explain to you that. Bitcoin is a collection of concepts and technologies that form the basis of a digital money ecosystem. Units of currency called bitcoins are used to store and transmit value among participants in a Bitcoin network. Bitcoin users communicate with each other using the Bitcoin protocol primarily via the internet, although other transport networks can also be used. The Bitcoin protocol stack, available as open source software, can be run on a wide range of computing devices, including laptops, smartphones, making the technology easily available. Users can transfer Bitcoin over the network to do just about anything that can be done with conventional currencies. Anything, such as buy and sell goods, send money to people or organizations, or extend credit. Bitcoin is fully distributed peer-to-peer system. As such, there is no central server or point of control. Bitcoins are created through process called mining, which involves looking for a solution to a difficult problem. Any participant in Bitcoin network, that is, in a device running the full Bitcoin protocol stack, may operate as a miner, using their computer processing power to attempt to find solution to this problem. Every 10 minutes on average, a new solution is found by someone who then is able to validate the transaction of the past 10 minutes and is rewarded the brand new Bitcoin. Essentially, Bitcoin mining decentralizes the currency issuance and clearing functions of a central bank and replaces the need for any central bank with this global competition. Due to Bitcoin's diminishing rate of issuance, over the long term, the Bitcoin currency is deflationary. Furthermore, Bitcoin cannot be inflated by printing new money above and beyond expected issuance rate. So, this is all about Bitcoin conceptually. Now, let get you into the Bitcoin clients. You need Bitcoin clients. Let me explain it to you. There is a full client, there is a light client, and there is a web client. To join the Bitcoin network and start using the currency, all a user has to do is download an application or use a web application. Since Bitcoin is a standard, there are many implementations of the Bitcoin client software. There is also a reference implementation also known as Satoshi client, which is managed as an open source project by a team of developers and derived from an original implementation written by Satoshi Nakamoto. Okay, so now what is this full client, light client, web client? Let us tell you about the full client. A full client or a full node is a client that stores the entire history of the Bitcoin transaction. Every transaction by every user ever, manages the user's wallet and can initiate transaction directly on a Bitcoin network. This is similar to a standalone email server. This is the full client is just as a standalone email server. In that it handles all aspects of protocol without relying on any other servers or third-party services. Okay. Now, what is light client? A lightweight client stores the user's wallet but relies on third-party owned servers for access to the Bitcoin net for transaction and network. The light client does not store a full copy of transaction. Okay, it does not contain the full transaction. Therefore, must trust the third-party servers for the transaction validation. This is similar to a standalone email client that connects to a mail server for access to a mailbox. In that, it relies on a third party for interaction with the network. So this is the light client, third party owned servers like. Now what is web client? Web clients are accessed through a web browser and store the user's wallet on a server owned by a third party. This is similar to a webmail in that it relies entirely on third party server. Mobile clients for smartphones such as those based on the Android system can either operate as full clients, light clients or web clients. Some mobile clients are synchronized with a web or desktop client providing a multi-platform wallet across multiple devices but with a common source of funds. The choice of Bitcoin client depends on how much control the user wants over funds. This is very important. The requirement of the fund will decide which client do you choose. Okay, so this is about full client, light client, and web client. Okay, so now, so now let us tell you how you can get a Bitcoin, or rather, where you can get a Bitcoin. Okay, so it's not possible to buy Bitcoins at a bank or a foreign exchange kiosk at this time. As of 2014, it is still quite difficult to acquire Bitcoins in most countries. There are a number of specialized currency exchanges where you can buy and sell Bitcoin in exchange for a local currency. This operates as web-based currency markets and include Bitstamp, a European currency market that supports several currencies including Euro, US dollar, via wire transfer. Coinbase, a US-based Bitcoin wallet platform where merchants and consumers can transact in Bitcoin. Coinbase makes it easy to buy and sell Bitcoin, allowing users to connect to US checking accounts via the ACH system. A more complete list you can find in this web address as it given there. So there are three other methods for getting Bitcoin as a new user. Like you can find a friend who has Bitcoins and buy some from them directly. Many Bitcoins users started this way. Use a classified service like localbitcoins.com to find a seller in your area to buy bitcoins for cash in an in-person transaction. Sell a product or service or bitcoin. If you are a programmer, sell your programming skills. If you have online store, see to sell in bitcoin. You can also use a bitcoin ATM in your city. A map of bitcoin ATMs can be found in this link called www.coindesk.com/bitcoin ATM map. I am giving this address here also. Okay, from as of now, I have told you about the what Bitcoin is, how it was started, who actually started it, who invented it, what is the different price, how does it operate, where to get it. Now, get into the hands-on to it. Now I am going to bitcoin.org site. Let's bitcoin.org site is opening. This is the bitcoin.org site. There are also other sites you can search in Google. Now I'm going to getting started. Here are all the instructions are there. You can read it down. Now I have to choose a wallet. Here their wallet start as a what to do wallet start Bitcoin, core Bitcoin not. Like this wallet, there is a wallet called multi-bit wallet. Okay, I am going to I have just downloaded the multi-bit wallet into my desktop. You will get this wallet from Google also, but this is for, remember, this is for Windows 64-bit version. So be careful. If you have a 32-bit Windows version, this setup will not work. And also for security reasons, this is not compatible with Windows XP or Windows. So I have just downloaded Windows XP compatible 32-bit as I have the 32-bit machine. So I have downloaded this multi-bit Windows 32-bit version setup and I have installed it. And after installation, this except shortcut has been created. I am just opening it. So after opening it, it will look like this. There will be a welcome screen. The welcome screen is like this. The balance of 0 BTC as I did not have done any transaction, so the balance is showing 0 BTC. This is the welcome screen which I read it out. Here is the send, here is the request, here is the transaction. Here is first, suppose you as a newcomer to this site, newcomer to the Bitcoin, so you have to request somebody transfer some amount to you. So what you have to do, you have to give them this, you have to give him the address, him or her the address. This is the address and this is the barcode, QR code. This QR code can be print it out and give it to him. He can scan his smartphone and he will get that address. There you can put the amount, the total dollar amount here, converted, the BTC amount will be shown here. The level, you can write it down, the purpose, you are transferring them, you are receiving the amount. So this level will come here and in any time this address is not so much security constraint. There is a totally security proof address received. Anytime you can just click on this button new and the new address may be originated. Just see the address is starting with 1. It can also be started with 3 also. 1 or 3, anything. Now, if you just do this and receive the amount will be showing the transaction. And this is sent. If you want to send that amount to anybody or you can go to any shop, as I told you, sometimes go to restaurants or nowadays various shops are there in the world, in US, in Europe. You have to just put in the address of the recipient here, the level, the amount, send, and he will get the money. And this is the transaction. Here he will be show the transaction. Now, just as I have not done the transaction or anything, so I am giving you just a demo transaction idea. This is the transaction double entry bookkeeping line. This is the debit and this is the credit. It is the input, this is the output. You are seeing here, this input is slightly more than the output. Okay, and this difference is for the transaction fee, and this transaction fee goes as a bit from Bitcoin to the miner. So what is mining? I am going to tell to you, but this difference, this difference goes to the miner, and this difference is the transaction fee. Okay, this difference is the transaction fee. So now I am going to just okay, and this is the transaction, and the transaction will be shown here. Everything will be shown here. The last transaction will be shown here. You have to do this, but remember, this is for the older version. If you go to the new version of Multibit, if you go to the newer version of the Multibit, the I'm showing say Multibit, Multibit, but it doesn't work here. Then it's opening here. You will get the Multibit. Here we will get the Multibit. If you download it from here, see this is multi. So, so now as you got the 64-bit Multibit 80 or Multibit 32-bit previous person compatible wallet, you can do all the things just now what I have showed you. So now let us give you a just an idea on what the Bitcoin exchange rate is converted to INR and the exchange rate. So the Bitcoin and the INR exchange rate is there. So you can see 50,111 rupees equal to 1 Bitcoin. You can see it here. 50,111 is the Indian rupee equivalent to 1 Bitcoin. Okay. Okay. So let's now move on to mine. Now, as I have showed you the Bitcoin transaction, how to get it, how to download the wallet and get it. Now I am going to explain you the Bitcoin mining. Now, this transaction is now propagated on the Bitcoin network as I have done it earlier. It does not become part of the shared ledger until it is verified and included in a block by a process called mining. Okay. Now, the mining system of trust is based on the computation. Like transactions are bundled into blocks, which require an enormous amount of computation to prove, but only a small amount of computation to verify as proven. This process is called mining and serves two purposes in the Bitcoin. Mining creates new Bitcoin in each block, almost like a central bank. Like the central bank print new money, exactly the same way. The amount of Bitcoin created per block is fixed and diminishes with the time. Mining creates trust by ensuring the transactions are only confirmed if enough computational power was devoted to the block that contains them. Okay, more blocks mean more computation. Like the blocks are increasing, the nodes are increasing, means more computation will be done. A good way to describe mining is like it is a giant competitive game of Sudoku that resets every time someone finds a solution, whose difficulty automatically adjusts so that it takes approximately 10 minutes to find a solution. Imagine a giant Sudoku puzzle, several thousand rows collapse in size. If I show you a completed puzzle, you can verify it quite quickly. However, if the puzzle has a few square filled and the rest is empty, it takes a lot of work to solve. The difficulty of the Sudoku can be adjusted by changing its size. Remember, the size bigger, the Sudoku puzzle is going to be difficult. The more computational power is needed. The puzzle used in Bitcoin is based on the cryptographic hash and exhibits similar characteristics. It is asymmetrically hard to solve but easy to verify. Its difficulty also can be adjusted. So this is mining. Um, so that's it. That is a very short video on Bitcoin, and I have tried my best to give you an idea of what Bitcoin is all about. Special feature that attracts me is the decentralized system in which it operates. Now, whether it is going to take the place of a reserve currency or central bank or any monetary body throughout the world, that totally depends on the expert, economics, technical people, programmer, developer, total IT world. So that depends on them. And as of now, in last, I can only say RBI at December 2013 declared they have no intention to regulate the Bitcoin. So thank you, and that's me, Devashish Ghosh, signing off, and that's the end of the video. Thank you. Best of luck.